literally like Fervent's brilliant. Like, this shit is fucking hilarious.
Kelly Reed giving a nice shout out to Fervent here. You have great videos, she says. Absolutely. Fervent's got great videos. Follow him on Twitter.
Think you're better than me? Well, why don't we see?
We lost.
That's a friggin' banger, right? Fervent, can I was like, woohoo, that is so good.
Now, you are amazing. Thank you. I love your parody videos. Keep them going. If you do that for every trial, honestly, I think we need comic relief.
If you go to Fervent on Twitter,
Fervent. Yeah, go to Fervent.
Get a different screen open, put in your Twitter, go to Fervent, and then just share.
You don't have my Twitter hooked up to the computer.
Fervent.
Fervent?
Yes. Fervent HOSP, if that's the app thing.
Oh, Fervent what?
HOSP. But probably hospital, I don't know.
Or
Whoever put that together, all kidding aside, that's very humbling in a funny way.
Right.
I appreciate that.
Can you at some point explain what fervent hosp means? Is it like hospice care? Is it a hospital? Are you a hospitality group? Are you hospitable? Long to dying cold? What is hosp? What is fervent? What is life?
Before we taste the mic, y'all better know I do more damage with a pen and better roll. Turn your plea deal into an episode. About to give Chloe her best to show. Trolls out and they like the la. Do the right thing, at least that's what I was taught. You learn do the right thing from Michael Cox, and that's how you end up on Michael Guys. The trolls don't even know what to do to me, cause my parodies are all based in reality. It's really hard you engage in all the messy when you get praise from Robert Alessi. It ain't a fervent track if there ain't a diss to Hanky. Dr. Wrestler had you looking like Rescue Randy. I'm moving on, Hank, let me release the clamps. Erase you from the record like celebrate timestamps. And the show goes on, and the show goes on, and the show goes on. Yeah, the show goes on.
All right, welcome everybody. To all the first-time viewers, do you know what you just walked into? This is how we roll here at Fervent's house. We're having fun, we're enjoying our Saturday brunch together, and we're reminding the people of all the injustice that's occurring in Massachusetts. Enough to literally fuel an ecosystem of lawyers, creators, and online personalities that trash these people on a daily basis. But let's start today's show by recapping all that has happened in Norfolk County this week with Fervent's Headlines of the Week. Karen Reed had another civil hearing this week regarding the email incident where she accidentally replied all to everyone, including the plaintiff attorney. Instead of being like, hey, mistakes happen, don't worry about it, Attorney Diller says, oh, let me make this the biggest headache possible, and refused to destroy the email. The anti-camp is loving this the same way they did when Laura McLaughlin argued the prosecution should get to use a Google search Karen made in the days following John O'Keefe's death looking for a DUI lawyer. Which makes no sense because that actually made her look even more innocent. The next day we had another hearing, this time in the criminal case where we got a glimpse of the super rare creature known as the bearded Cosgrove, who still refuses to give back Karen's phones even after Judge Krupp ordered that the prosecution cannot search them. Cosgrove's argument had the judge looking like this.
The key case relied on by Judge Krupp, and I agree that
Karen's attorneys are multiplying like when you spill water on your mogwai. This one says, yeah, Cosgrove can appeal the decision, but that doesn't mean you get to keep the phone forever. Cosgrove's like, yeah, but Proctor hasn't had a chance to look for nudes on this phone yet. We can't give it back right now. This jolly old judge takes it under advisement. But perhaps the juiciest thing that happened this week was that apparently after the hearing, there was a confrontation between Karen and the MSP's best confidential informant, Kate Peter. Here's Peter explaining what happened. If you have kids in the room, maybe block their ears, and just to be safe, maybe cover their eyes.
Sorry, guys, I'm driving home from just confronting that useless, murdering, alcoholic bitch. Tiny little thing she is. My God, the only thing I think is she would snap like a fucking twig when I saw her. She tried to play tough. She tried to get in my face. Who are you? She says, like, I know exactly who you are, bitch. But I finally, somebody in this world asked her some actual fucking questions. And I did this in the hallway of the court. Did I film it? No, I didn't film it, you guys, because honestly, I don't give a fuck about content. It's a principle thing, okay?
Kate Peter didn't even record it because she doesn't care about content. Staying true to her word, she couldn't even wait until she got to her home, which I believe could be found somewhere under a bridge, to hop on Spaces and talk all the shit. Also, I love that Karen's response was basically,
who the hell are you? Who the hell are you? Who the hell are you? Out the way, there's a real bitch coming through.
and that's it for Fervent's Headlines of the Week. All right, let's get into today's video. It's going to be focused on Caitlin Albert and Katie McLaughlin and their weird relationship. Why is this important? Well, Katie McLaughlin was a Canton firefighter. She was one of the first responders at the scene at 34 Fairview Road that morning, and she is one of the only people to corroborate Jen McCabe's story that Karen Reed said, I hit him at the scene. And you know, whenever someone corroborates something Jen McCabe says, that's a giant red flag. So if we're going to see sort of how that might have came to be, Katie McLaughlin says this statement to Trooper Proctor. But the interesting part about that is that that interview was coordinated by Kevin Albert, who is Brian Albert's brother and would be Caitlin Albert's uncle. So let's get into it. Like, comment, subscribe. I see a ton of people asking, how can I hype this video? I really wish I could hype this video. And I agree with you guys. I'm kind of mad at YouTube, to be honest. That'll probably take me out of the algorithm. But the best way to support this channel as of right now is Venmo. I put it up on the top left of the screen. No pressure at all. But if you want to buy me a cup of coffee, maybe a mimosa, feel free to contribute. All right, let's get into it.
Who is Katie McLaughlin?
Katie McLaughlin is a girl who I'm the same age as. We went to high school together. We graduated the same year, and we have a couple mutual friends. We interact with some of the same people socially. I can't think of a time, possibly ever, where her and I ever hung out one-on-one or individually. So more of like a friend of a mutual friend.
Okay. So, Kate, you would not consider Katie McLaughlin to be a friend?
She's not a close personal friend of mine.
I asked you if she was a close personal friend.
Objection.
Just let her finish her answer.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish your answer.
I would not consider her one of my, again, close friends.
Okay. All right. So let's get back to my question. Would you consider her to be a friend?
Objection.
I'll allow that.
Your Honor, may we approach?
Ms. McLaughlin, who's Caitlin Albert?
I went to high school with somebody named Caitlin Albert.
With somebody named Caitlin Albert?
I went to high school with somebody named Caitlin Albert.
So do you know Caitlin Albert?
I do.
You're friends with Caitlin Albert?
I would say more acquaintances, not close friends.
How do you describe an acquaintance?
I would say that we have mutual friends, so we might see each other occasionally because of mutual friends, but we don't we don't have a one-on-one friendship or hang out regularly.
Who's her dad?
I don't know.
The objection system.
Do you know who her family is?
Objection.
When she was confronted with, who is Caitlin Albert, when Mr. Jackson asked Katie McLaughlin who Caitlin Albert was, there was a long pause, and then she was and then even the way she phrased it was, I think, telling. I went to school with somebody by that name, or it was something to that effect, which just sounded ridiculous. It sounded like it was somebody that she was trying to remember. At that point, we had 4 photos that we marked for ID, H, I, J, and K, where we have them together. We have them being Facebook friends. We have a nature of the relationship that she tried to conceal in our view. Since that time, we've been deluged by other photos of the two of them together, including one, intimate photo of them, the 4 of them. I'm sorry, when I say the 4 of them, I mean Caitlin Albert, her 2 college roommates, and the only person who's not a college roommate in that photo is Katie McLaughlin. Katie McLaughlin also said that she never went on anything other than occasional day trips with Caitlin Albert. We now know that that's false. We have them together in a hot tub drinking in a photo that is from Maine, which is about a 4-hour drive away.
When is that?
It was posted in 2016, which is another.
But when did it occur? Did it occur in 2016, or was it posted in 2016?
It was posted in 2016. I think the inference is that's when it was a new photo that was uploaded. Ms. Albert, I'd like to go back to a discussion of Katie McLaughlin.
Okay.
Yesterday, I asked you a 4-word question, and that question was, who is Katie McLaughlin? Do you recall that question?
I do.
You would agree with me that your response was not, she's a firefighter.
Correct.
Your response was not, she's a friend.
Correct.
Your response was not, I've known her for years.
Well, I sort of alluded to that when I said that I've known her since high school.
Right. Your response was that she was somebody that you knew in high school, correct?
I said that I went to high school with her, and she's my same age. We graduated the same year. Yes.
Right. So you referenced high school, correct?
Yes.
Ms. McLaughlin, I asked you before we broke if you know who Caitlin Albert is.
Yes.
You said that you went to high school with somebody by that name, correct?
Yes.
You, in fact, know that person as a friend, correct?
I know her.
She's more than an acquaintance.
I would say she's an acquaintance. She's not a close friend.
Is she in a group of friends of yours?
We have mutual friends.
How long have you known her?
Probably since high school.
When you say, and I don't want to ask your age, I wouldn't do that. How many years, how long of a span of years have you known her?
Since high school, so maybe 10.
And you know her family, generally?
I don't.
You don't know anything about her family?
I don't know her family.
Had you ever been to her house?
Not that I recall ever being there.
Not that you recall, or you haven't? There's 2 different things.
I don't recall ever being there.
Okay, so you might have been there, you just don't recall.
I don't recall ever being there.
Okay. If I were to ask you if you have ever been to her house, yes or no, you cannot answer that because you don't know. You cannot recall, correct?
I would say, I would lean towards no. I have no recollection of ever being at her house.
All right. You would agree with me that you've seen her several times since high school, correct?
Yes.
You have hung out in the same group with her several times since high school, correct?
Yes.
And you graduated high school in 2014?
Yes.
It is now 2024?
Yes.
Your contact with Katie McLaughlin has been fairly consistent over the years in that it continued at least until 2021, correct?
I would agree with that, although it was far and few between. But
Is that
throughout the
because-
years, yes.
Do you say that because the photographs are far and few between?
Objection.
Sustained.
I'm just going to leave all four of these up here. I know what they look like. Can you do me a favor and take a look at the first document? What does that document appear to be?
It says Caitlin's friends.
What does it look like? That's a printout of.
I'm sorry?
What does that look like? It's a printout of. Does that look like it's from Facebook or one of the social media apps?
Yeah, I don't know exactly. Some social media.
Okay. Under Caitlin's friends, do you see your handle, for lack of a better phrase?
I do.
Okay. Is that you?
Yes.
Okay. Can you look at the next photograph? Before we talk about that next photograph, which is, I should go in order for the record, Your Honor. The first one was H. Before we talk about I, which is the next photograph, how long have you been social media friends, quote, friends with Caitlin Albert?
I don't know.
More than 5 years?
Probably.
More than 8 years?
I don't know.
The second photograph, or the second document, appears to be a photograph. It's I, is that right?
Yes.
Do you see yourself in that photograph?
I do.
You see Caitlin in that photograph?
I do.
When was that photograph taken?
I have no idea.
Where was that photograph taken?
I don't know.
You have no idea how long ago that was?
I don't.
What was the event that was depicted, or that is depicted in that photograph?
I don't know.
Is that local, or was that on a trip somewhere?
I don't know. Probably local. If it's a beach, I don't remember. I've never been away to a beach on vacation with all of these people, so probably local.
When we say local, let's talk about local. I don't mean we may have different definitions. Where would that be? What beach? I'm not as familiar with the location.
I'm not sure.
Maybe on the Cape?
Possibly.
Okay. Do you recognize some of the other folks in that photograph?
I do.
Matter of fact, there's a lot of people in that photograph, right?
There's a lot of people in it.
Did you take a trip with all those people at some point in the past?
Take a trip.
To the beach.
Did I go to the beach at some point with these people? Yes.
Okay. When did you go to the beach with all those folks?
I don't know. I don't know when this picture is from. It seems old to me, but.
Well, you can see yourself. I mean,
yeah.
What was that? Did you say it seems old to you?
Yeah, to me. Okay. This isn't like a recent to me.
How old do you think that photograph is?
I don't know. It could be around high school. I'm not sure.
And I know Mr. Jackson didn't want to ask you how old you are. When did you get out of high school?
2014.
Okay.
I graduated.
So could that have been around 2014?
It could be.
So you've known Caitlin for at least that long?
Yeah.
And when I say travel, I mean travel outside of Canton. You've gone places with her, correct?
Yes.
You've posed for photographs with her?
Yes.
With other folks?
Yes.
It's like socializing and partying, correct?
Looks like socializing.
Maybe a small vacation.
I've never been on vacation with a big group of people like this.
Well, that doesn't look like what would you call that if that's not like a mini vacation?
A day at the beach?
A day at the beach, okay. So maybe a day vacation.
Sure.
Okay. Let's look at the next photograph. Jay. May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
I do need to remind myself. That photograph looks a little older, correct?
They both look old to me. I don't know when they're from.
I'm going to ask you the same questions about that. These aren't trick questions. I don't want to waste your time. What's that from?
I don't remember specifically what or where this is.
Do you see yourself in that photograph?
I do.
You see Caitlin in that photograph?
I do.
You're all posing for the camera, correct?
Yes.
What's the location?
I don't know.
No idea.
I don't.
This is yet another socializing event with Caitlin that you can't recall.
I don't know where this is.
How many times have the two of you been to the beach together since high school?
Objection.
Do you know? If you can answer that, go ahead and answer.
I know that we have been to a beach together, but I don't know how many times. I could guess.
Don't guess.
Okay.
Next question, Ms.
You
Giannetti.
said a beach. Does that mean that the two of you only go to one particular beach?
No.
No, you've gone to multiple beaches with Katie McLaughlin, correct?
Not that I can remember. I can't remember how many times. I have one memory, but I can't say for sure how many times I've been to a beach with Katie McLaughlin.
So you've had so many socializing events with Caitlin and other folks that you can't pinpoint this one as opposed to any of the others that you've had?
No, I'm saying I can't. These photos are old. I don't know. I don't remember where these were or the circumstances around them. That's what I'm saying.
You see how you're dressed in that photo?
Yes.
You see how you see the other friends that are there with you?
Yeah.
How many people would you estimate are in that photo?
Do you want me to count how many people?
Give me it. I don't have a photo in front of me, so just give me it. Is it more than 5?
12.
12 people.
Ish.
Do you recognize those dozen people?
I do.
Did you go on a day trip with those dozen people?
Yeah, possibly.
When?
I don't know.
Where?
I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't remember.
How many times have you gone on day trips with those dozen people?
I don't know.
How about turning back to photograph I? How many times have you gone on day trips and socialized with those number of people? Which looks like probably double that, 20 or 25 people.
I don't know.
That's a big group of friends of yours that includes Caitlin Albert, right?
A big group of mutual friends.
So it's not just that she's a mutual friend, she's a friend. Isn't that right?
As I said before, I would consider myself more of an acquaintance. We have mutual friends. I wouldn't consider her a close friend, but yeah, I mean that would be my answer.
You basically grew up with her, went to high school with her.
I didn't grow up with her. I went to high school with her.
When I say grow up with her, I mean you grew up in the same town as her, right?
Grew up in the same town.
Went to the same high school as she did.
Yes.
Socialized with the same friends as she did.
Yes.
Went on day trips with her.
Yes.
And have all the same friend group. Right?
I don't know that we have all the same friend group. These are people that we're both friends with.
But you don't consider her anything more than just an acquaintance?
I think I described it to you.
The answer to my question is you don't consider her to be anything more than an acquaintance.
I wouldn't consider her to be a close friend.
Now let's take a look at the last photograph. Describe what's in that photograph.
It's a picture of me. Caitlin is in it, and seems to be other people in it as well.
That's a close-up photograph of who?
Caitlin, and I'm also in it.
And you're doing what in the photograph as it relates to Caitlin?
It seems like I'm kind of kneeling down next to her.
Touching her?
Can I see that for just a minute, please? Thank you. I'm sorry, can you show me you? Okay. Thank you.
So just for the record, may I approach one more time, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you. You're sort of just behind Caitlin in that photograph?
Yes.
Caitlin's the one drinking the beer?
Yes.
You got your right arm around her?
Yes.
You both appear to be wearing swimwear?
Yes.
Bathing suits?
Yes.
And you're giving some sort of a sign with your left hand?
No, I'm not.
Is that somebody else's hand that I saw? Maybe that's Caitlin's.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't have the photograph in front of me. I don't have it committed to memory. Looks like that's a photograph that you and Caitlin posed for together, correct?
It seems like it's a close-up of a bigger, like a picture. It seems to be zoomed in on a group of people.
Which was posted on social media.
Okay.
Is that right?
Are you telling me that?
I'm asking you that. You ever seen that posted on social media?
I don't recall seeing this picture, but if it was on social media, then okay.
How long ago was that picture taken?
I don't know.
Who took the picture?
I don't know.
Where were you when the photograph was taken?
Probably at a beach with, if we're wearing bathing suits.
Probably at a beach or at a beach?
Well, I can't see a beach in the picture. We're in bathing suits. It could be at a beach.
Right. Do you recognize the bathing suit that you're wearing in the photograph?
No.
You literally don't even recognize your own outfit?
No.
So that doesn't help define where you were and when that photograph was taken?
No, sir.
Do any of these photographs remind you that you've been to Caitlin's house at some point in your friendship with her?
No.
Has Caitlin ever been to your house?
Not to my recollection.
When was the last time you talked to Caitlin?
I don't remember exactly. It's probably been a few years.
When was the last time you went to an event, socializing event with Caitlin?
Again, I don't remember exactly.
Did you talk to Caitlin at any point at or around, on or around January 29th, 2022?
No.
When was the last time you had talked to Caitlin before January 29th, 2022?
I don't know.
Would it have been a day before, a week before, a month before?
No, I don't talk to her. Like I said, we're not like close friends, so it's like pretty infrequent that we would interact. So I don't know when the last time before that.
What about texting or Snapchatting or communicating in that way?
I don't remember.
Would it have been a week before the 29th?
I don't think so.
You don't think so, or you know so?
I don't think so.
What about after the 29th? After you responded to 34 Fairview? You ever have any communication with her?
Not that I can recall.
So is that something that you think you might remember if you responded to a house of her father where there's a police officer dead or dying on the yard, on the lawn, 30 feet from the front door? You might have had a conversation with Caitlin?
I've never had a conversation with Caitlin about that call or this case.
The other aspect of this, Your Honor, is that she said that she had not, Katie McLaughlin testified she had not seen Caitlin Albert for, I think, 2 or 3 years prior to January of 2022. We have a baby shower photo that is from June of 2021. They are standing next to each other.
Do you have someone to authenticate that date?
Caitlin Albert will authenticate that date. I mean, you know, these photos impeach the testimony of Katie McLaughlin multiple times, and we should be allowed to explore the bias of these witnesses, particularly the bias of Katie McLaughlin, who purports to give incriminating testimony against my client, brand new testimony that only existed after she learned the identity of the homeowners in this case. This is classic bias and classic impeachment evidence. There's no reason why we shouldn't be able to show photographic evidence of this relationship, much like Mr. Lally shown photographic evidence of the 34 Fairview, what it looks like. It's intended to assist the jury.
You would agree with me that there was not a 3-year period prior to January 29th of 2022 where you didn't see Katie McLaughlin at all, correct?
A 3-year period?
Right.
I can't say 100% yes to that, but I wouldn't be surprised if I had seen her at some point in time over the past couple of years and before John O'Keefe's passing. Yeah.
Seen her a couple of times, does that mean that maybe you bumped into her and said hello?
It would mean that we would be in the same place at the same time, not something that I reached out and invited her to in any way, shape, or form. But, you know, again, we have mutual friends, so I would not be surprised if I went somewhere and she happened to be there as well.
Okay. And it would have been a surprise to you that she showed up at whatever place you were at in those 3 years? Is that your testimony?
No, it would not have been a surprise to
You
me.
would have known in advance that Katie McLaughlin was going to be at the same place that you were in advance.
Not necessarily, but
Ever in those 3 years?
Objection.
Sustained.
Isn't it true that only 8 months before January 29th of 2022, you and Katie McLaughlin were at a baby shower together?
Objection.
Do you know that?
yes,
Go ahead and answer.
yes, we did.
You were. Whose baby shower was it?
It was a mutual friend of ours.
What's her name?
Her name's Alyssa.
And how many people were at that baby shower?
I can't say for sure. I mean, it was Alyssa's family
All right.
and a bunch of friends. I can't put a number on it.
The friends all gathered together and took a photo together with the woman having the baby shower, correct?
Objection.
Was there a photo taken?
I believe so.
You were in that photo, correct?
Yes.
Who was standing next to you?
I don't have it in front of me.
Okay, if you saw the photo, would that refresh your memory?
Yeah.
May I approach?
Yes.
Having reviewed that photograph, Ms. Albert, who is standing next to you?
One of my friends is on the left of me, and Katie McLaughlin is on the right of me.
Okay. She's right next to you in that photo, correct?
Yes, she is.
That was in June of 2021, correct?
Yes.
So if somebody testified that you hadn't seen each other in 3 years prior to January 29th of 2022, that would be wrong, right?
Objection.
Dan.
And with regard to the contact that you've had with her in terms of group events, you would agree with me that it wasn't just day trips that you took with her, correct?
Correct.
You've also gone on road trips with her, correct?
I've gone away on trips that she was with. I didn't drive with her or go with her or invite her, but she has been there, yeah.
Okay, and what road trips have you taken overnight where you and Katie McLaughlin have been together since high school?
Objection.
Sustained.
You've gone to Maine with Katie McLaughlin, have you not?
Objection.
So we need a time frame, Mr. Yannetti, not just
Sure.
10 years ago.
Since high school, you've gone to Maine with Katie McLaughlin, correct?
Objection.
I'll allow it. Did you go to Maine with her?
I did, and the year would have been like 2015 or 2016.
Okay.
If I suggested it was July of 2016, would that make sense?
That would sound about right, yeah.
And while you were in Maine, there were 7 of you in a hot tub together, correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
You were in a hot tub with Katie McLaughlin in Maine, correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
May we approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
You'd mentioned that you'd been to Maine with Katie McLaughlin in 2016. Where was it in Maine?
I'm not sure the exact town.
Right. Probably 4 hours away?
I'm not sure how long it took to get up there.
It wasn't 10 minutes away.
No.
Right? And it wasn't a half hour.
No.
All right. It was more than 2 hours, correct?
Maybe.
And you drove, correct?
Yes.
How many days did you spend in Maine?
I'm not sure, maybe 2.
All right. So you were up in Maine over a weekend?
Yep.
With Katie McLaughlin, correct?
Yes, as well as a bunch of other friends.
Oh, of course. But the answer to my question is you were with Katie McLaughlin, correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
If you take a look at that and look up at me when you're done, does that refresh your memory?
Yep.
That particular photo that I showed you from S for identification, what beach was that?
I don't know the name of the beach.
Where was it?
I believe somewhere in the Cape.
And Katie McLaughlin is in that photo, correct?
Yes, along with a bunch of other friends.
Of course, there are other friends, but you...
Miss Yannetti, please no more, of course.
Of course, Your Honor. With regard to that photo, once again, you are right next to Katie McLaughlin. Were you not? Right in back of her?
She's in front of me, yes, and the mutual friends that I already said that we have are also in the photo.
Of course. Let me ask you this. Has anybody in this
Jurors, I'm going to strike that, of course.
Has anybody in this courtroom today asked you about the other mutual friends who were there? Did I ask you today whether there were other mutual friends in that photo?
Objection.
Sustained.
You added that to your answer, correct?
Objection.
Can you answer that?
Yes.
Who are your college roommates?
Objection.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
Who were your college roommates?
Oh, yeah, it's sustained.
How many college roommates did you have?
Objection.
Sustained.
Fair to say that Katie McLaughlin has been with you and your college roommates.
Yes.
When was that?
2015, 2016?
And there were 2 college roommates that you and Katie McLaughlin were with, correct?
I had multiple college roommates at that time, and 2 of them were the mutual friend that Katie and I share.
And in fact, there was an occasion where you were in a kitchen with your 2 college roommates and 1 other person, correct?
Objection.
Need a time frame or something, Ms. Giannetti?
Sure, that was around 2016, was it not?
That sounds about right, yes.
And do you recall which college roommates they were?
Objection.
Sustained.
And someone took a photo of you, your 2 college roommates, and 1 other person, correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
In 2016.
Objection.
Sustained.
Were you ever asked about this relationship that you had with Caitlin Albert, this friendship that you had with Caitlin Albert at or near the time of the 29th of January?
No.
Did you ever disclose to anybody that you had a relationship with Caitlin Albert at or around the time of this event?
No.
When you went to 34 Fairview, you knew that that was the Albert family home, correct?
No.
When did you learn that it was the Albert? You now know that.
I know that now.
When did you find out?
I don't know. I don't recall. It was some point after. But I don't know when.
Could it have been the next day?
No.
You and firefighter Flamati and firefighter Nuttall were all discussing this case pretty intently after this event, correct?
No.
It's not that often in the little town of Canton that a police officer is found dead or dying on another police officer's lawn. Wouldn't you agree with that?
We responded to a medical call, so the conversation after the fact was at the hospital, debriefing the call, going over what happened, what we use for equipment, what we need, and just like that was the extent of the conversation.
Would you agree that this case, given its notoriety, is discussed at the fire station almost daily?
I don't know when I'm not there, but it does get brought up.
And obviously the fact that the house belongs to, or belonged at the time, to the Albert family is part of that discussion.
I don't know. Like I said, it gets brought up, but I just avoid it. I don't engage in the conversations.
It was certainly enough of a subject matter that you learned, according to you, after the 29th. That house belonged to Brian Albert, Nicole Albert, parents of your friend Caitlin Albert, right?
Well, at that point, it was on the news consistently, so I don't know where that information was introduced, but
it was pretty early on after the 29th.
I don't recall when it was known that was the case.
I mean, you didn't learn that was the Albert family home last week.
No.
You've known it for going on 2.5 years.
I don't know exactly when I learned that that was the house.
I realize you don't know exactly, Miss McLaughlin. I'm not asking you the day you learned. I'm asking you, you've known this basically through the lifespan of this case.
At some point after I learned it.
Right. I'm just trying to figure out about how long after. A week after? A month after?
I'm not sure.
But it was more toward January 29th than it was yesterday, correct?
Correct.
One other, just a couple brief questions. Do you know any of Caitlin's siblings?
No.
You don't know Brian Albert Jr.?
No.
You know of any of her extended family that might be a little closer in age to you, like Colin Albert?
No.
Have you ever met any of them?
Not that I recall.
Not that you recall, or no?
I don't remember meeting any of them.
Your Honor, that's all I have right now.
And that person that you knew lived there, what is their name?
Caitlin Albert.
How did you know Caitlin Albert?
We went to high school together. We're in the same grade. We have mutual friends, and growing up, we had different friend groups, but those groups would often get together in bigger groups and hang out. I see her in group settings. I socialize with her occasionally. I don't have a personal relationship with her. I wouldn't consider her to be a friend of mine, but I do see her occasionally because of social events. I don't have a one-on-one. I don't have a close personal relationship with her.
Was she a friend on social media back at the time?
Yeah.
Since this event, have you been on any outings or trips with friends of hers, or in a group setting where she was present?
I don't remember ever seeing her since then.
Had you ever talked to her about your role that night?
Never.
Did the fact that somebody you knew lived in that house, it had anything to do with your treatment and care that morning?
Not at all.
At the last hearing, when you testified about a year ago, that wasn't brought out on direct examination, was it?
Objection.
Sustained. May we approach? Ms. McLaughlin, we were talking about, very briefly, your testimony about a year ago. In your testimony a year ago, you did not disclose in your initial conversation the fact of your relationship with Ms. Albert, did you?
I object. I move for an instruction.
So the objection sustained. Next question.
Who was it that asked the question about Ms. Albert a year ago?
Objection.
Sustained.
Did you tell anyone, Trooper Proctor, any investigator, anybody from the DA's office last year about your relationship with Caitlin Albert?
Objection.
I'll allow that.
No, only when there started to be a lot of harassment and things that, insinuations and stuff that started coming out online. I had said maybe once to them that I was concerned I was being harassed.
My question, Ms. McLaughlin, was before the information was disclosed, which was during the first proceeding. Objection.
Let's hear the question.
Before that information was disclosed during the first proceeding, in any of your interviews with Michael Proctor or anybody else from the DA's office, did you disclose, from the Massachusetts State Police or anybody from the DA's office, did you disclose, did you volunteer that you had a relationship with Caitlin Albert before the first proceeding?
Yeah, I'm saying I told the DA about the harassment and the insinuations. That was before the first trial when I met with them.
How was there harassment and insinuations if it hadn't been disclosed at the first proceeding?
Because it's out there everywhere on the internet and has been.
Before the first proceeding, Ms. McLaughlin, before you ever testified. That's my question. Do you understand my question?
It's been going on since before the first proceeding.
If you hadn't testified at the first proceeding, at which point it was revealed, how could you have ever suffered any harassment for it?
It wasn't disclosed yet, Miss McLaughlin. Do you understand?
I don't think you understand what I'm saying.
Who did you tell at the DA's office?
The relationship that I had with Caitlin Albert had been out there. It had been published and proliferated on the internet. And so that was before the first proceeding.
And who did you tell at the DA's office about this before the first proceeding?
I don't remember who it was or the meeting, but
Was it Mr. Lowry?
it could have been.
Do you have a memory of that?
Not specifically. I don't remember who it was.
Was it Mr. McLaughlin?
Like I said, I don't remember
Not you,
specifically.
obviously. Miss Laura McLaughlin. No relationship.
Like I said, not specifically.
I want to ask you a couple of questions about your relationship with Caitlin Albert. You were asked at a hearing about a year ago, in the last year, May 3rd, as a matter of fact, 2024, about that relationship. Do you remember what your answer was?
No, not specifically.
You remember saying, in response to the question, who's Caitlin Albert? Asked by me.
I don't remember specifically what I said.
Did you say, I went to high school with someone named Caitlin Albert?
Have the page number in line, please.
May 3rd transcript, 10-24, lines 2 and 3. Did you say, I went to high school with someone named Caitlin Albert?
I believe so.
Refresh your recollection, take a look at your transcript.
Sure.
Did that refresh your recollection as to what your answer was to the question, who's Caitlin Albert?
Yes.
Did you say, quote, I went to high school with somebody named Caitlin Albert?
Yes.
Mr. McLaughlin, that was not a full and accurate statement of your relationship with Caitlin Albert, correct?
I object.
Was that accurate?
I mean, that's a fact.
Okay, next question.
You grew up in the same town together, correct?
We did.
Went to the same middle school together.
Correct.
Went to the same high school together.
Yes.
Socialized with her.
Yes.
Taken day trips with her and others.
Yes.
Taken beach trips with her and others.
Yes.
Taken 4th of July weekend getaways with her and others.
I don't remember that, but
One of your best friends named Michaela actually lived with Caitlin Albert at college, didn't she?
Yes.
And you visited your best friend at that residence where she lived with Caitlin Albert on more than one occasion, didn't you?
Yeah, occasionally I would go to visit the friends that I had there.
You would even spend the night in the apartment with her, correct?
Maybe a handful of times, yes.
You've taken photographs with Caitlin Albert, correct?
I'm in pictures with her, yes.
You've been to baby showers with Caitlin Albert over the years.
I have attended a baby shower with her,
Had
yes.
celebrations with her over the years. Correct?
Yeah, we socialize, like I said, group settings, social events. I will see her.
May I approach briefly?
Yes.
Can you describe, first of all, take a quick glance through that series of pages and tell me if you recognize what's depicted in those pages.
Yes.
How do you recognize those documents? What are they?
Objection.
Objection sustained.
Are those photographs?
Yes.
The photographs. Next question.
Who's depicted in the first photograph?
My son.
Do you see, does every one of those photographs include you?
Objection.
Sustained.
Does every one of those photographs include Caitlin Albert?
Objection. I'd like a curative instruction.
Sustained.
The reality is, Ms. McLaughlin, your relationship with Caitlin Albert goes back not just weeks or months or years, it goes back a decade or more. Matter of fact, more than a decade.
I grew up we live in the same town, so we went through all the same school systems and everything.
May I approach?
Yes.
I can have this, please. The reality is, you did more with Caitlin Albert than simply go to the same school system. Is that right?
Yes.
One of these photographs has you on vacation with Caitlin Albert drinking, correct?
Sustained.
You've been You've been photographed with Miss Albert on many occasions at many celebrations with your girlfriends, correct?
Take a sidebar, please.
I'm going to allow that.
Is that right?
Been photographed on occasions.
On occasions, yes.
That wasn't my question, Your Honor.
Oh, go ahead, ask
My
it.
question was, you've been photographed on many occasions and many celebrations with Caitlin Albert and your girlfriends, a group of girls that we just looked at.
Yeah.
And those include, as we went over just a second ago, 4th of July vacations, correct?
I'm not sure the dates on them.
I didn't ask you about the dates. I don't know the dates either.
Well, I don't know that was a 4th of July celebration. I'm not sure.
Do you see a beach photo with American flags in the background?
I'm objecting.
Sustained.
So you've had, those photographs represent some of the celebrations that you have had with Caitlin Albert and others in your friend group, correct?
I'm objecting.
Sustained.
You've gone on overnight vacations with Caitlin Albert, isn't that right?
There was one that I can remember, one overnight that I can remember, with a big group of people.
Who was that? Where was that?
That was in Maine.
It was in Bethel, Maine, wasn't it?
Could have been. It was in Maine.
Have you been to more than one vacation in Maine with Caitlin Albert?
No, I don't know. That's the name of the town. I don't remember.
You've indicated that you've had baby showers where you've attended with Caitlin Albert, correct?
I was invited to a baby shower, not Caitlin Albert's, but she was also invited to the baby shower.
Right, and the two of you posed for a photograph together, correct?
We posed around the girl that was having the baby.
Right, you and who else?
A bunch of other girls, her friends.
Right, was one of them Caitlin Albert?
She was in the photo, yeah.
She's standing right next to you in the photo?
She could have been. Is that in there?
Next question, Mr. Jackson. No. Next question.
You just looked at a photograph of you.
I just glanced through them. Sorry.
The objection is sustained.
The reality is, Ms. McLaughlin, your relationship with Caitlin Albert is far more than simply somebody that you went to high school with. Isn't that true?
I described what it is.
Do you stand by your testimony that Caitlin Albert is, quote, somebody I went to high school with somebody by that name?
I said that, and I described the relationship numerous times throughout that testimony to clarify it.
And you clarified it under questioning by me, correct?
Yes. And Mr. Lally, he asked follow-ups.
And in fact, you were shown some of these photographs last year, too.
Objection.
Sustained.
The reason you clarified it is because you were confronted with photos of yourself last year, correct?
Can you repeat the question?
Sure. The reason you clarified it, as you just testified, the relationship, is because you were confronted with photographs of you and Caitlin Albert last year, correct?
I just answered the questions that you had.
Right, and you were shown photographs last year.
I was, yes.
Officer Seraph, Mullaney, Good, Lank, EMT Nuttall, Flamati, Kelly, Walsh, Woodbury, Whitley, Becker, Robery, McLaughlin, Carrie Roberts, Jennifer McCabe, they were all there, watching and listening. On January 29th, when John O'Keefe was found, not one first responder reported having heard Karen Reed say the words, "I hit him." Not one. Not one civilian reported having heard Karen Reed say, "I hit him." The facts will show that the first time this improved statement was ever claimed to have been made was some 24 hours later by a single EMT in an interview. Now listen to this. In an interview coordinated by a Canton police detective named Kevin Albert, Brian Albert's brother. There's also another member of the Albert family that you've spoken to about this case, isn't that right?
No.
January 30th, 2022, You were contacted by a member of the Canton Police Department to set up an interview with Fletcher.
No, I was not.
You remember being contacted by anybody to set up an interview with Michael Proctor?
The state police called me, and I met with two state troopers. I don't know which one of the troopers called me to set up the interview.
Isn't it true that it was actually a Canton police officer who coordinated that interview with you?
I have no knowledge of that at all.
Isn't it true that the Canton police officer who set up the interview with Massachusetts State Police and coordinated that interview was a detective named Kevin? Do you remember that?
I have no knowledge of that.
Isn't it true that Brian Albert has a brother named Kevin Albert on Canton Police Department?
I know that now.
Isn't that who coordinated your interview with Michael Proctor?
I've never spoken to Kevin Albert, ever.
You can't remember who it was that set up the meeting. How can you say with such specificity?
Because it was the state police called me. The state police called me. It was a state trooper.
Can you wait till I'm finished with my
Hold on
question?
1 second.
Oh, sorry.
If you can't remember who it was that called you specifically, how can you say with such specificity that you've never spoken to Kevin Albert?
Because I have only ever talked about this case with a state police trooper. So there were two of them there when I went for the interview. I don't remember which one called me, but I've never been contacted by anyone in the Canton Police about an interview or about the case. So I know it's not. I just don't know which state trooper it was that called me.
Did you talk to Mr. Brennan about this issue when y'all met?
No, I did not.
This issue never came up?
No.
About Kevin Albert or the Massachusetts State Police or your first interview?
No.
You remember testifying about this last year?
I remember you asking me about who coordinated the interview.
And now as you sit here, you're saying it was absolutely 100% Massachusetts State Police that coordinated that interview.
I only ever spoke to the state police about that interview. I wasn't contacted by anyone else to go in for that interview.
Are you saying that you now have a specific memory of how that interview was set up? And that it was Massachusetts State Police?
My only memory is...
Do you have a memory or do
Could
you
you answer the question, please?
I don't really get the question.
Can you answer that question?
I don't understand the question.
Ask it again.
Sure. Are you saying as you sit here now that you have a memory of how that interview was set up? And it was by a Massachusetts State Police officer?
I always had a memory that it was a state police officer.
Okay.
I don't know which one. That's why I said I don't know.
Isn't it true that last year you were asked that very similar question? This is at 10-56, lines 10 through 15. Question, do you recall being contacted by a completely different officer to say, hey, Trooper Proctor wants to talk to you. Come on to Canton PD. He wants to have an interview. Answer, I don't remember exactly how the interview was set up. Remember that?
Right.
When you did make this statement to Trooper Proctor, your visit to Canton PD was coordinated by another officer to put you and Trooper Proctor together for the interview, correct?
I don't recall that.
Do you recall being contacted by a completely different officer to say, hey, Trooper Proctor wants to talk to you, come on into Canton PD, let's have an interview?
I don't remember exactly how the interview was set up.
So that was my next question. You may have just told me this. Do you have any recollection who set that interview up?
I don't.
His name Kevin Albert sound familiar?
No.
You know Kevin Albert?
No.
You know him to be a police officer at Canton PD?
No.
You know him to be the brother of Brian Albert?
Objection.
No.
The objection sustained.
So as you sit here, you now have a specific memory that that interview was set up by Massachusetts police officers.
That's the only memory I have of it. And when I said I don't know, you said somebody other than Proctor, and I didn't know if you were referring to the other state trooper that was there, because I didn't remember specifically who called me to come in for the interview. But I've never spoken to anybody in the Canton Police about that interview or the setup.
In fact, Kevin Albert is Brian Albert's brother.
I'm aware of that now.
You're aware that Kevin Albert is Caitlin Albert's uncle.
I guess so.
How many conversations did you have with anybody before you actually sat down with Michael Proctor? Either in anticipation of setting up the interview or otherwise?
None. I think once I got the call, I just called my chief that they're asking me to come in. And that was that.
And you got the call from whom?
I don't know which state trooper called me.
But as you sit here now, you're very specific in your memory, it was a state trooper.
I only ever met with state troopers, and no one from the Canton Police ever contacted me about an interview, setting up an interview.
During your interview with Michael Proctor, did you disclose to Trooper Proctor that you had a pre-existing relationship with any member of the Albert family?
No.
Did Michael Proctor disclose to you during that interview that he had any kind of relationship with the Albert family?
Objection.
System.
I want to ask you about another issue concerning a potential conflict of interest. You were well aware that Canton PD was supposed to be, we've talked about this at some length, conflicted off the case as of January 29th, 2022, right?
Correct.
And you even put it in that text message, nah, Cat, it's total opposite. They have to recuse themselves, BPD. Same with Canton, right?
Yes.
Those are your words on January 29th, right?
Yes.
And you knew that the reason for, one of the reasons for Canton PD to recuse itself is because of the relationship between the Alberts and one of the detectives on Canton PD, Kevin Albert, right?
Correct.
You knew that Kevin Albert was the primary source of the conflict, correct?
Yes.
And you knew that he, above everybody else, should be completely removed from any contact with the investigation or the investigators, right?
Correct.
Yet when you wanted to coordinate witnesses for interviews in this case, who'd you turn to?
I texted Kevin Albert to see if he could secure a conference room for us to conduct interviews at the station.
The same Kevin Albert to help coordinate these witness interviews, who's the brother of Brian Albert, right?
Yes.
If you could turn to tab 13, please. Do you have that in front of you, Trooper Proctor?
Yes, I do.
If you'll turn to page 2591, can you see that on January 30th, 2022, at about 11:55 a.m., Kevin Albert texts you on your personal cell phone, Paul G. is reviewing the reports now. Steve Seraph is here if you need to interview him. And we can call Stephen Mullaney in as well, end quote. You see that?
Yes.
Who's Paul G?
Lieutenant Paul Gallagher.
So Kevin Albert, a Canton PD officer, and an Albert, is texting you about Paul Gallagher, another Canton officer, about interviewing Steve Seraph, another Canton officer, and Steve Mullaney, a second Canton officer, correct?
Correct.
What investigation was Kevin Albert referring to in the text?
The death of John O'Keefe.
This investigation. Right?
Correct.
Did you tell Kevin Albert it's completely inappropriate for him to be involved in this case at all?
I did not.
Did you tell him he shouldn't be having any contact with any of the witnesses, and he shouldn't even be having contact with you? Did you tell him that?
I did not.
What you did write back was, quote, okay, you and I are coming in at 1 to interview a firefighter, Katie, correct?
That's right.
So not only did you tell him that you were engaged in the process of obtaining interviews, you told him the name of the interviewee, right?
Yes.
And you were going to do it at Canton PD, correct?
Correct.
So you're sharing information about the identity of witnesses that you intend to interview with Brian Albert's brother, right?
Yes.
Then you asked Kevin Albert to actually contact the witnesses in order to schedule their interviews, didn't you?
Yeah, I believe it was Officer Mullaney and Seraph.
Turn to page 2592. Kevin Albert texts, okay, so I'll get Mullaney in as well. You interviewing her here? And you respond, yeah, if we can line them up for 1:30 and 2, that would be great, correct?
Yes.
So you were leaving it up to Kevin Albert to contact and coordinate with the witnesses that you intended to interview at Canton PD, correct?
Objection.
I'll allow it.
Correct.
You then answered any time in the ballpark. I'm sorry, yes, you answered any time in the ballpark, then you went on and said from 1:30 on, correct?
Yes.
Kevin Albert then says, okay, sounds good. And then he responds, if you want to interview witnesses in the recorded room here, you're more than welcome. You see that?
I do.
He was referring to an interview room or an interrogation room where there's surreptitious recording devices, correct?
Yes.
That's to help facilitate memorializing interviews that police officers want to take with any witness in a crime, right?
Correct.
That would mean that if you used a recorded room, those recordings would be in the hands of which agency?
That's why we did not use that recorded room.
But he offered, didn't he?
He offered. We did not use it.
Do you see that as a problem?
That he offered?
Yeah.
No, I don't, sir.
You see that as a problem because he might, I don't know, take some of those interviews and forward them to his brother?
Objection.
Sustained. You can ask it differently, Mr. Jackson.
Were you concerned that Kevin Albert was offering to utilize Canton's recording programs, facility, in order to get access to what the witnesses were saying so that he could then forward that or tell his brother?
No.
Never crossed your mind?
Never.
At that point, I asked her if there had been any significant trauma that happened before this.
What, if anything, did she say?
So she said, I hit him. She repeated it. There was a woman standing across from her who I believe at that point said, you're hysterical. You need to calm down. You're hysterical. She repeated, I hit him. And there was a police officer who was in that vicinity kind of with us who replied, you what? She repeated it one more time. And that officer then signaled to somebody, get Goody down here, which I'm assuming would be the sergeant. So I was kind of moving around, trying to gather the information with her.
Did she say anything to you in addition to the typical background information that you would try to obtain from somebody?
Yes.
What did she say?
Well, I asked another question. Once we had come to a stop, I asked if there had been any significant trauma that happened that preceded this. And she answered with a series of statements that she repeated. I hit him. I hit him. There was a woman next to us who told her to calm down, stop talking, calm down, you're hysterical. So she repeated, I hit him. And a police officer asked her, said, you what? And she repeated it again, I hit him. And the officer then signaled for his sergeant to come down to the scene or down to where he was.
Since January 30th, in that conversation that we just talked about with Trooper Proctor, your statement has evolved. Is that right?
I don't know how to answer that.
You testified yesterday to something quite different
Not quite different.
than what you testified, I'm sorry, than what you stated to Trooper Proctor.
Respectfully, I think my testimony has been pretty consistent.
You testified to something yesterday quite different in context than what you told Trooper Proctor. Isn't that right?
I don't know that that's right.
Well, you told Trooper Proctor, Karen Reed looked at a female standing to your left and said, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. Right?
Yes.
Yesterday, you told these jurors that Karen Reed said, I hit him, and an officer said, you what? And she repeated, I hit him, and the officer immediately turned and went to find another sergeant. Is that right or no? Yes or no?
No, there was more to that testimony.
That's
I
not what you
think.
said yesterday?
I think I said more than that, than what you just repeated.
Is what I said consistent with what you said yesterday? There's a lot of things that you said, more of. I'm asking, is that the sum and substance of what you told these jurors yesterday?
Yes.
So you would agree that from that time till yesterday, your story has evolved. It's changed.
Would I agree with that? I don't know that I agree with that.
You think the story that you told Trooper Proctor is exactly the
I
same?
understand what you're saying. So I understand what you're saying.
So has your story evolved?
Okay. Yes.
When she first told you that she had hit him, you said there was another woman next to her. Did you know who that woman was?
Not at the time.
Do you now know who that woman was?
I do.
And who was that?
Miss Jen McCabe.
Testimony is, our officer was asking her what his name was and different things about him. And at that point, she was saying, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him.
Which officer?
I do not recall.
Well, you recall the I hit him. You just told me that was the most impactful thing in the morning.
It was shocking.
So what officer did she say this to, supposedly?
I was more focused on her and her hysteria than which officer was asking the question.
So you have no idea who the officer was even, correct?
I'm not sure which officer was asking her. It could have been an EMT. Someone said, what is his name? Does he have medical conditions? How old is he?
But you were asked that question, ma'am. On page 208, you were asked what she said in front of the female EMT who was asking her questions. And her answer was, your answer was, she said, did I hit him? Could I have hit him? Is he dead? Is that right?
That is correct.
That would have been a good time to offer up that she confessed, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him, right?
Objection.
Sustained as to that form.
Ms. McCabe, the truth of the matter is you've manufactured this new story for this jury because you think it helps you out.
Absolutely not.
But how do you remember she made those statements?
I won't ever forget those statements.
You know that you never testified to that in the grand jury in April of 2022, don't you?
I don't know that as a fact. I would have to reread 222 pages or however long it is.
You think you might have missed it when you reviewed your testimony in anticipation for, when you reviewed your transcript in anticipation for your testimony?
Objection.
I'll allow it. I read it a few weeks ago.
It's probably the most powerful part of your testimony, ma'am.
And I will never forget it.
I won't ever forget those statements.
And I will never forget it.
I won't ever forget those statements.
All right, we're going to stop it right there. There's a lot more we have to get into with Caitlin Albert. We are going to do that in a future video. There's discrepancies about when she left that night, what the family said originally, what time she left, and what time she actually ended up leaving. She was actually the last person to leave 34 Fairview that night. Very interesting. There's also a theory that she is the one who removed Chloe from the home. And she also saw Colin Albert in the house. There's a whole thing with Tristan Morris and not being able to tell time or commit to times. So we're definitely going to dive more into that in a future video. As Yuri Buchanan would say, please acknowledge this video with a thumbs up. Let me know what you think about Caitlin Albert down below in the comments. And please subscribe if you haven't already. Merchandise, I promised you guys, it is coming soon. Real soon, so stay tuned. So on your drive home from Fervent's house this morning, I'm going to play the Unity song to wrap everything up. But before that, I want to play something else, which is videos that probably a lot of you haven't seen. I would bet that most of you found me through my music, through my AI songs, which is great. Love doing those. But we do a lot more here on Fervent, as you can see. And one of the first videos that really got me some attention was I was covering the Brian Walsh trial live. So I would do live daily recaps of that trial in Fervent fashion, as you'll see. So if you didn't catch that trial, or if you did and want a new viewing experience, you can go on my channel. I believe there's a playlist for it as well. And you can just catch up on that trial in 40 minutes or less. There are very brief recaps of each day. So I'm going to play the first 2 or 3 days for you, I have recaps. If you like it, you can go back on my channel and watch my recaps for every day of that trial. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Love y'all, and I'll see you soon. We start with a cameo of Yuri Buchanan and David DeChico, whose hair is graying faster than the president during election season. Brian Walsh is escorted into the courtroom Hannibal Lecter style. He has a rosary bead wrapped around his right hand, and I hate to rush your judgment, guys, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this guy is as guilty as a McAlbert's conscience. Judge Diane Frenier scans the jury like a cat looks at a laser beam. Notably, I did not hear the phrases, "I'll allow it," or "I'll let him have it" once today, so we're making progress. ADA Greg Connor gets up and proves that there is in fact a capable prosecutor in the Norfolk County DA's office. Admittedly, I stopped taking notes once we got to about the 6th Google search about disposing a body and how to get away with murder. Defense attorney Larry Tipton gets up and basically says, "Yeah, Anna just kind of died while lying in bed." And Brian Walsh, as one does, panics and decides to go to a hardware store and buy the Home Depot body disposal kit, which I believe has a great Cyber Monday deal when he used the promo code HOSLONG227. First witness is Harrison Schmidt, a Cohasset cop who called himself the lead investigator. There was a ton of confusion in the room as nobody knew that such a position existed in Massachusetts law enforcement. He then plays a couple of interviews he conducted with Brian Walsh. Once again, a lot of bewildered looks in the courtroom as nobody has ever heard of recording witness/suspect interviews. It was quite a spectacle. We quickly learn that Walsh is as big a talker as Kerry Roberts. Walsh goes on and on and on like he does, and we listen on and on and on like we do. Overall, there seems to be just way too much to overcome for the defense in this case. Those Google searches alone could not be more damning. There's still a controversy about how the phone data was obtained and whether it was done properly or not. But the jury hearing those searches, along with the pieces of clothing investigators found in dumpsters, will probably be enough to convict. Oh yeah, and we have a new ceiling fan.